Okay, let's start with the prologue. As I expected, the figure restrained in the interrogation room's chair shows no signs of being distressed. He looks more like an honored guest who's been cordially invited. When I walk in, his gaze sweeps over the row of interrogation tools before landing on me.
Is this cutesy display the best you can do for your esteemed guests?
I sit down at the interrogation table, and my expression remains the same. I purposefully avoid touching the file in front of me. You're right. The usual tactics used by us are inappropriate for a triple S class predator. Especially for you, Tamino. The confined space amplifies the strength in my words. It makes Rafayel's scoff sound particularly grating. But I'm used to this. Unfazed by the suspect's provocation, I nonchalantly continue speaking. Recently, the city became aware of Fallen Fire's great deeds, and you, their leader, proved to be elusive. It wasn't easy, but in the end, I got you in the palm of my hand. The man I considered as good as caught finally looks up. An ambiguous smile appears on his face.
I see you're still relentlessly chasing after me, like a desperate playboy chasing skirts. I trust all is well since we last saw each other, my dear supervisor.
He's not wrong. I was a supervisor back then, and we spent a considerable amount of time together. Before he became a predator, he was a renowned opera singer. Former supervisor, you mean?
Yeah, but someone here wants to reconnect.
I stand up and move closer to the railing, which allows Rafayel's gaze to follow me. It's as if he's watching a prey willingly fall into a trap. A potent frenzy enhancer has appeared on the market, and we trace its source to an abandoned building near Lacon's suburbs. The building was used to imprison predators who had been experimented on. We know one of its escapees later joined Fallen Fire.
So, you want me to help you find this person?
This individual was also a test subject. They probably have information about the frenzy enhancer.
I'm afraid you're talking to the wrong person. I'm not interested in these drugs.
Cooperation requires negotiation. I'm not here to negotiate with you, though. In other words, you're here to lend a hand. Rafayel slightly flexes his wrist that's still restrained.
Do people in the LCBI use incarceration as a way to ask for help?
It's one of the LCBI's methods. However, I have my own way of doing things. I tap the panel in front of me a few times. The restraints binding Rafayel to the chair disappear. From this point on, think of it as my personal invitation. You can decide whether to accept it or not. Like a king of beasts emerging from its den, Rafayel takes a moment to stretch languidly.
Once we're out of the LCBI's jurisdiction, you'll be in my territory. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a taste of being a supervisor for once.
After a thorough investigation, we discover a discarded audio chip in one of the abandoned building's offices. Hoping to uncover new leads by repairing the chip, Rafayel and I return to the LCBI building. Along the way, we noticed that almost every wall was haphazardly plastered with wanted posters. A few of them feature familiar predator criminals, yet a majority have a picture of the man walking beside me.
The Northern District is more welcoming than I expected.
You'd be even more popular if they didn't run out of space. I turned to one of the walls to admire his accomplishments. Each wanted poster has a different charge. It'd take a novel to cover all of your crimes. As I look through the charges, my gaze lands on one for the destruction of public property. Popped a balloon mascot outside a restaurant via a bite. It shot up 100 meters into the air before disappearing. The owner's testimony states that they were by the window and thought they saw fireworks. When they went outside to check, they realized their waiter was flying away.
This predator isn't picky about the crimes they commit, thanks.
Wait a second, these wanted posters actually say you're the perpetrator? Hesitant, I shift my gaze to Raphael's face, but the alleged culprit seems to be unfazed.
Are there other interesting ones?
Apart from some serious and dangerous ones, the majority of the charges are as trivial as he stole snacks from the vending machines. This one and this, I don't think you'd do stuff like that. Are there other predators who are bold enough to commit crimes under your name? Rafayel tilts his head and scans the wanted posters. He mimics my scrutiny from earlier.
Being able to pin their crimes on me is probably the only thing you can get out of being part of Flow and Fire. It doesn't really offer anything else.
Amidst the sea of wanted posters, it's impossible to discern which crimes, if any, are actually his. Puzzled, I look at the wanted posters again. I notice something odd about the pictures. From impressionist to abstract art, there's a portrait of Raphael in every possible art style. No wonder there's a bizarre mix of crimes here. With all these abstract paintings and simple sketches, you'd have to be an idiot to not pin random charges on you.
And you took your sweet time to notice something was off.
That's because I know you. These abstract doodles just turn into realistic portraits in my mind.
Really?
Raphael leans in, and his face is suddenly the only thing I can see. Stunned, I try to avoid his intense gaze, but I fail to hide the warmth creeping up on my neck.
Why are you blushing? I just want to see what this realistic version of me looks like in your eyes.
You won't see him even if you're this close. Flustered, I raise my hand and frantically trace a simple stick figure in the air. A circle for the head, a line for the body, 2 sticks for arms, 2 sticks for legs. That's the you in my eyes.
It's not any different from the balloon mascot on that wanted poster.
Raphael accepts this and puts some distance between us. Yet just as I'm about to breathe a sigh of relief, an unexpected cool sensation touches my ear.
I wonder, do you get this flustered with every balloon mascot?
Raphael gently pinches my ear, and instead of the coolness of his touch sending a shiver down my spine, heat rushes to my face. Who gave you permission to speculate about an enforcer's behavior? And just so you know, it's hot out here. It's winter. Either way, we'll need to take your photo for these wanted posters someday. It doesn't matter if you're a balloon person or a rubber ball person. As we reach the ground floor of the LCBI building, I sign for a package with daily necessities, then I hand it to Raphael. Here, carry your own things.
What's in it?
Everything you need for your stay. You don't want to spend your time in the interrogation room with Era, right?
I can't tell if you're overestimating that shabby room or underestimating me.
I should have brought in your wanted poster that mentions property damage. We might need it soon. After staying downstairs for a bit, I contact the investigation department and hand over the recovered audio chip to a colleague. However, they glance at it once and say the mysterious chip we recovered has corrupted data. The trio goes cold, unsure of what to do next.
Follow me. I know of a secret workshop that can fix it.
Wait, this music. Wait, I like this song. I'm gonna go back and record this for myself. I follow Raphael to the place he mentioned. As soon as we step inside, we're greeted by big band music. It's not the heavy metal or sultry tunes that are popular in the Southern District. The melody is surprisingly romantic and mellow. Oh no, I wanted to hear more of it. Music stops as we enter, and someone walks down the stairs, or rather, a predator appears. Raphael gives him the chip without even saying hello.
This shouldn't take a long time to fix, yeah? You're not allowed to be curious, so don't worry about it.
I suppress the urge to round up everyone here. Once the person leaves to repair the chip, I whisper into Raphael's ear. The people, I mean predators here, are they all part of Fallen Fire?
Do you think that organization is a shelter for predators?
Then why is he obedient when it comes to you? Are you controlling them with the mysterious power?
What do you mean?
Maybe use your voice to enchant people. You did it in Siren Song, the opera you performed in. Exasperated, Raphael sighs and touches his forehead. My speculations continue unabated. Does Tamino, an infamous criminal, secretly sing to himself in the middle of the night? What?
Your imagination knows no bounds. Are you like this with every prisoner you have in custody?
No, just you. Since he's not taking the bait, I purse my lips and decide to stop prying. I'm just curious about what you're like when you sing. After all, your file says you used to be an opera singer. Please. Please sing. I've been waiting. The leader of a predator organization and a performer in the arts. It's hard not to be intrigued since these two roles are so different.
Aren't you afraid my singing might bewitch you? You'll be at my mercy.
I'm not complaining. Or I'm an exception. I could be immune to your charms. Let's put it to the test. Sing a few lines. Do you know the song that's playing in the shop right now? No. Okay. When Raphael opens his mouth, the words flow naturally with the melody. No! They keep doing this. Because he hummed in a Secret Times, and it was really good. And obviously singing Happy Birthday, like, he was really good. So I've been waiting to hear more, but they keep teasing it. He's actually singing. I thought I wouldn't be able to convince him today. I planned on being an impartial listener, yet when I recognize the song I requested, something in my heart rises and falls with the rhythm. In the span of one song, I find myself in that peaceful dream from before. There are no predators in that Lincoln. And in this dreamy version of the city, Raphael and I seem to have many memories together.
It's fixed.
Just as swiftly as he had drawn me into a reverie, the same person shoves me back to reality. I hold my breath as I listen to the recording on the repair chip. A single sentence plays over and over again.
The experiment has begun.
It has to be the command for starting the experiments on the predators. It's not difficult to deduce that the predator who ran to Fallen Fire would be terrified of this sound. Time is of the essence. Raphael and I grab the repaired chip and head to Fallen Fire's base. We'll use it to identify our target. While waiting for everyone to gather, I open Raphael's refrigerator and unexpectedly discover something. I'm shocked. What? honeydew flavored yogurt drinks. I remember how you only drank that back then. I've never met anyone as picky as you. Your taste hasn't changed a bit. Raphael's hand, which is in the middle of fastening his wrist guard, pauses. He ends up securing it incorrectly.
I never got around to drinking them. They've been sitting there for a while now.
But the expiration dates aren't from several months ago. In fact, it'll be a while before they expire. Stop lying. There's nothing wrong with liking it. Rafayel attempts to bite open the fastener, but he destroys it in the process. Frustrated, he tears off the entire wrist guard and tosses it aside.
You're in enemy territory, but you still have the gall to play detective. You gotta search every nook and cranny, huh?
Isn't that why we're here? The more evidence we gather, the more worthwhile this trip becomes. I'm busy myself with looking through Raphael's quarters, and he doesn't try to stop me. Instead, he adopts a suit-yourself attitude. A few items tucked away in a corner catch my eye. Ropes decorated with sharp spikes and gloves as tough as stone. Are these Full & Fire's interrogation tools? No wonder you scoffed at the tools in the LCBI's interrogation room. I guess we can learn a thing or two from you.
Those are only used on Flow & Fire's traitors.
When you're their leader, which predator would be foolish enough to think about betraying you?
What kind of leader do you think I am?
One who's exceptionally talented with using his teeth. What? If I were to poke Raphael's face right now, it'd probably be even harder than those gloves.
I know what you're really up to. This investigation is just an excuse to go undercover here.
I don't get a chance like this every day, so of course I'm going to milk you for every bit of intel I can get. Raphael looks at me and nods. He seems to be playing along.
How do you plan to accomplish that?
Using only words won't work on him. I need to utilize a more hands-on approach. I reach into my pocket and pull out a few shell casings. Let's make a deal. These will be yours in exchange for intel. You can use them to make a metal fastener. It'll be stronger than the one you bit through.
We'll see how useful they are once I try them out.
He weighs the shell casings in his hand, and his expression reveals his disappointment. He turns around as if he's ready to throw them away. However, he wraps the shell casings with the wrist guard he discarded and puts them into a cabinet. He accepted my offer. Time to make the most out of this. With a handful of lightweight shell casings, I've earned myself a golden ticket to search this place. I eagerly start my investigation. What's this?
The latest neurotoxin on the market. 1 milligram is enough to make someone wish they were dead.
And this?
A souvenir from the last time we had an uninvited guest. Some of their blood should still be on it. I was joking.
He presses a strange dice in my hand. Suddenly, the boring soap opera we watched together is projected onto the wall. It must be another one of the strange gadgets from Southern District's black market. Oh right, since we're updating your wanted poster, we might as well rewrite your file while we're at it. Determined to turn the tables, I open a honeydew flavored yogurt drink and teasingly wave the bottle at Raphael. If word got out that honeydew flavored yogurt drinks are an infamous triple S-class predator's guilty pleasure, it tarnished your reputation, right? What? I don't get it. What the heck is wrong with liking honeydew yogurt drink? What the heck? It's just like any other drink or any other food. What?
You made yourself at home without my permission, and even assumed my preferences. Should I set up a dedicated observation room for you? That way you can keep an eye on me 24/7.
Well, if you're offering. Raphael steps forward and swiftly takes the assortment of odd trinkets I collected. He places them on the table behind him.
But Miss Enforcer, please don't tell me you forgot the real reason for your visit.
Because of Raphael's command, the current members of Fallen Fire quickly assemble. When the restored recording plays, I watch from the shadows. I immediately spot a predator whose intense reaction gave him away. Under relentless questioning, he finally coughs up a set of coordinates. The location leads us to the top floor of the abandoned building. Using the coordinates we extracted from the escapee, Raphael and I return to the abandoned building with the research equipment. An unsettling aura permeates the air. The mechanisms hidden throughout the facility, once dormant, seem to stir with ominous intent. Someone rolled out the red carpet for us. They even went through all the trouble of activating these traps.
Is that it? Our hosts aren't very good at their job. This welcome party sucks.
If it were just a few floors, we could walk in without a problem. But our target is at the very top. It's a shame the elevator is broken. We couldn't get it working last time we were here.
Well, the other traps have clocked in. That elevator should have joined them.
Do you think you can give it a wake-up call?
This type of elevator has an internal propulsion system. We can use the reaction force to move it.
Are you saying we'll be getting on a rocket? Oh no. We weave our way through the corridor and avoid the traps along the way. We soon stand in front of the elevator at the center of the floor. Without breaking a sweat, Raphael pries open the closed elevator doors. The heavy metal slabs might as well be flimsy paper fans in his hands. The elevator is crammed with discarded research equipment. I have to suck my stomach in just to squeeze through the tiny gap in the clutter.
I don't get a VIP seat.
Maybe you should be the one to power this thing. I can investigate by myself. Oh no. The thunderous slam at the elevator doors is immediately followed by Raphael's fluffy hair unexpectedly brushing against my ear. Once I steady myself, he ignites the elevator's mechanism with his flames. Our cramped metal box transforms into a deep-sea submarine that's ready to plunge into the unknown. The elevator shoots up like a column of fire and leaves the sluggish traps behind. Their attacks can't even reach us. The elevator comes to an abrupt stop at the top floor. When we step out, we're greeted by a sea of warnings. They're clearly meant for us.
You know, they need to try harder if they want to scare anyone.
It sounds like you have experience in this. Fallen Fire's infamous crime announcements are made by their assumed leader, huh? His ambiguous expression only fuels my frustration. Memories of countless nights at the office, all thanks to Fallen Fire's antics, flood into my mind. Anger courses through every fiber of my being. Do you have any idea how much of a nightmare it is to remove those things once they get into the LCBI system? I've lost count of the all-nighters I had to do because of them.
Then ignore them next time. There, problem solved.
I push down the bubbling anger in my chest and refocus. My eyes lock onto the large pile of discarded devices before us. The escapee's testimony echoes in my mind. Somewhere in this room hides the item we need.
Shh. Did you hear that?
Just as I'm about to continue our search with the renewed determination, Raphael pulls me toward him. My forehead slams into his chest and I can feel the metal studs on his belt digging into me. For a moment I can only see stars. I lift my head, ready to give him a piece of my mind, but before I can act, I freeze. The sound of approaching footsteps resounds behind us. Did someone else find this place?
They don't know what they're in for. You focus on finding the device. I'll deal with our uninvited guests.
I meticulously scan each object with my portable equipment. Meanwhile, Raphael unleashes flames to flush out our enemies that lurk in the shadows. Just as Raphael finishes cleaning up, the formula for the potent frenzy enhancer I've been desperately trying to find appears before me. I whirl around, eager to share the good news, yet it's at this moment that I see a fireball. I yell at him. Raphael, you can't do pyrotechnics indoors. The flames are extinguished just before they spiral out of control. Crisis averted. As for the culprit, he shows no signs of remorse. Raphael saunters over, pretending to be concerned. His index finger brushes against the tip of my nose.
You're covered in soot.
And whose fault is that? I saw his hand away and touched my own face. Sure enough, my palm is covered in black soot. My frustrations bubble over. I take this chance to stand on my tiptoes and catch Raphael off guard. I happily smear the soot onto his face.
If you want to avenge yourself, I know of a quicker method.
As soon as he broke free from my grasp, he leaned in to press his cheek and nose against my face. Raphael, your muzzle is poking me. With the new evidence, the mystery around this case starts to unravel. However, more parties being involved means the situation is escalating. Raphael, having no direct connection to this, has been released. Although his impromptu pyrotechnics didn't cause any real damage, I still gave him a hefty fine. What? Snitch. Like, it's not that serious. Let him have some fun.
Like, it's not that serious. Trust me, I know that.
Unfortunately, the peace is short-lived. Today, Full and Fire, which had temporarily ceased all activity, issued another chilling crime announcement. I decided to apprehend the suspect solo. To my surprise, I managed to extract him from Full and Fire's base and bring him back to the LCBI without a hitch.
I didn't realize the LCBI had renovated its interrogation room. Nice photo studio you've got here.
Are you reminiscing about your time behind bars? Don't worry, I'll give you a tour of your old accommodations later. But first things first, we need to update your picture for the wanted poster. I adjust the background and guide Raphael into the chair. Surprisingly, he doesn't resist. Ready to channel my inner photographer, I set up the camera. When the flash appears, Raphael squints under the bright light.
Are you even good at taking pictures?
The number of photos I've taken is greater than the wanted posters with your name. I'll admit my subjects are usually crime scenes though. You'll see what happens when you doubt a photographer's skills. I force myself to view Raphael through the lens, as if he were nothing more than an inflatable tube man with super flexibility waiting to be positioned. What? A little more to the left. No, go right. Okay, your body should be to the left. Now tilt your head to the right. Oh gosh.
You're so picky.
Despite his frown, Raphael tries to follow my instructions. Move your left eyebrow up a bit. What? It's not that serious. And the corner of your mouth needs to be symmetrical. Hey, stop fidgeting. Raphael, who's in my viewfinder, ignores me. He walks out of the frame. And the next second, my smile freezes as a soft sensation gently caresses my cheek. He caught me off guard. And my hand, still gripping the camera, seems to short circuit because of the conflicting signals my brain has sent. My finger presses the shutter button before I realize it.
Looks like you got the evidence of my felony.
It was just the slightest of touches, yet my heart felt like it was ready to burst out of my chest. Raphael, I'm adding another crime to your laundry list of offenses. What's the crime? Stealing my heart, I mean.
You might want to save that for later, because there's more to come.
Huh? My breath hitches as I'm suddenly pulled forward before I can process what's happening. I find myself pressed against Buzz next move stuns me. He raises the camera above our heads. A photo, somewhere between a selfie and a portrait, slides out of the camera. It captures this unexpected moment. Why is my heart racing? Before I can reach for it, Raphael swiftly pastes our picture over his freshly printed wanted poster. Are you trying to make me a backup in your crime or something?
The simplest way to find me is to go to you. That's just how it is, right? And take a closer look. In the photo, I'm the one backing you up.
I lean in to examine the photo and see Raphael behind me, but that wasn't the only thing. One detail in particular stands out, a metallic button on the wrist near my collarbone. It's the same color as a shell casing. It suits you. Well, we have your photo now. You better be careful since catching you will be easy.
You can't bring yourself to wish me well. I see.
He softly sighs yet doesn't call me out on my clumsy attempt at professionalism.
Someone's a little too familiar with my base. To ensure my safety in the future, I might need to relocate.
As he speaks, Raphael approaches the city map hanging on the wall. He studies it with great interest. Relocate to my home.
Okay, let's move on.
I walk up to him, grab a marker, and circle a place that's next to the LCBI's building. I'll help you find a spot near the LCBI. That way you won't have to travel far when we invite you over.
No need.
Raphael glances at me before grabbing the marker and taking my hand. He writes his name on my palm.
As far as I can tell, there's no better territory than this.
Raph.
You want me to be your loyal servant, right? Then you should keep me under close watch. You've done it before, and you can do it again. You're a natural at giving orders. I'll get whatever it is that you desire. What game are we playing today, my dear supervisor? Oh, fascinated by my outfit? Is it the belt you're eyeing? Or the buckles? This place is as dull as I expected. I could whisk you away to flowing fire instead. How does that sound?
Truth serum.
You're gonna use it on me? The taste is... Is this another one of your interrogation methods?
What an interesting idea. I'll keep that in mind. But for now, focus on answering my questions. What would you do if someone was using you?
Depends on who it is. If it's just a random person, I'll use them too. They'll be disposed of once they're no longer useful.
What if they're not?
Then I'll collect my compensation, with interest of course. And it'll be done using my preferred method.
What if I was using you?
Now you've piqued my interest. How exactly do you plan to use me?
Maybe I'll have you collect evidence from me in really dangerous places.
Sure thing.
That's it.
I didn't say I wouldn't expect compensation.
Predator snare.
What are you gonna do this time? Mark your territory with your scent.
Your heart is racing. Are you okay?
I'm perfectly... fine.
I should turn this off first.
Wait. Don't move yet. Your scent is the same as the lure's. Its sweetness makes me want to devour you whole. You're here to torment me with your new toys again?
The out of context is... sounds crazy. This time we'll be testing your willpower. No matter what I say, you only respond with misenforcer. I will obey you without question from now on.
Why should I even listen to you? Misenforcer, I will obey you without question.
You must be eager to help me investigate the truth behind the Predator's contamination.
I'm not. Misenforcer, I will obey you without question.
Good, it's settled then.
You better hope I don't find an opportunity for revenge.
Illusion mask.
First the muzzle, now this. Why do you always enjoy putting restraints on me?
Well, you know what they say, leaving a mark on something is how you let others know it belongs to you. Oh. MC. Pause.
Oh, you better watch your back then. When a tamed beast is abandoned, his master will be in grave danger.
I'll be careful not to get bitten. But for now, shall we discuss something else? For example, who do you see before you right now?
What do you think? I only see my master.
Wanted notices.
To have a laundry list of charges. You know, Lincoln's public safety is concerning. I'm not sure if this is a display of the enforcer's vivid imaginations, or their loose interpretation of the screening process.
It's clear one person isn't behind all these cases. Where should we even begin with this investigation? The missing antique theft.
I have no interest in old relics. Besides, didn't I help you catch the culprit already?
If I recall correctly, wasn't there only one environmental vandalism case documented last month?
Yeah, that idiot spent the whole night digging hundreds of holes near Flow and Fire's base. Then he tried to run away when he couldn't fill them back up. It was only after I caught him that he confessed he didn't know where his hidden treasures were. So I kindly took care of the cleanup myself. You don't need to thank me.
The fluffy earmuff stuffed. A stolen pair of fluffy duckling earmuffs. I don't think you're involved in a case like that.
Fluffy earmuffs. Come to think of it, I do remember something about that. When I was chasing after a trader, I passed by an alley full of clotheslines and was almost ambushed by earmuffs as they fell. I'm pretty sure I stuffed them into their mailbox, though. Did they not get them? You're being extra careful today. Good. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll make a difference. Rather than secretly writing in your criminal observation log, why don't you just ask me?